It's late August, and you know what that means. It's time for school to start. It's one of these predictable times of year where people start things that they hadn't started before. It's one of those things that happens even if we're not going to school. I'm Nancy Nadolski. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I am part of Sleep School Online. One of the things that we know about sleep is that we have to make it a priority. And not very long ago, I was watching a television commercial, and it was about this time of year, and it was a Staples ad. Mom was pushing the cart through the aisle, and the children were all following and putting in pens and backpacks and Cliff Notes and all those kind of things into the cart. But in the background was this sound, this music that was kind of inconsistent with the time of year. And the song that was singing was that Christmas song, "It's the most wonderful time." So you might remember that ad. Bottom line is, it is a good time of year because we get back on track. But the only way we can get back on track for school is if we get back on track for our patterns of school. Sleep supplies or school supplies needs to start with a good night's sleep. And it doesn't happen the night before school starts. In order to get the kids fully supplied for school, we want you to start waking them when they need to be up. And not just the night before, but the week before or even 2 weeks before they actually start school. When we start getting them up at the same time, no matter what time they go to bed, that will start planting that circadian rhythm. That will start creating that opportunity for their bodies to start creating a really strong sleep drive that will get them to bed earlier and get them up earlier so that they can be fully present while they're sitting in school. The other thing you need to do, number 2, is when you get them up in the morning, they've got to have something to do, get them outside into some bright light and expose them to bright light really early. Again, that helps reset some of that soup in their brain that helps them wake up appropriately and puts the sleepy soup on the burner until they need it later that night. Limited caffeine is okay earlier in the day. And if you remember, when somebody has caffeine, there are 2 components. First of all, you get that boost because you do get some energy as a result of the caffeine. But the wake-up piece, or the piece that actually can get in the way of you being able to get to sleep and stay asleep, comes later. Comes about 8 hours after you've actually drank a cup of coffee. So we have to think of the amount of time or the half-life that the coffee stays in our system. So having limited amount of caffeine in the morning is okay. Stop screen time. In other words, about an hour to 2 hours before it is bedtime, it's important for them to not have any visual image with something that is a light or flickering, because that can make the difference in being able to initiate sleep or not. So being able to have dark or low lights, being able to even walk outside in the evening, have a break and take a walk even right before you go to bed, that's an okay thing for us to be able to shift and let go of the day and take on the night. So these kids can get a good night's sleep so they're not falling asleep in their first period of class. 5th is there are no exceptions to this. If you want to start school on a good foot, in other words, if you want to start the school year with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, this is what you have to do. Because those first few days when the kids haven't had that training is miserable, not only for you, but also for them. And so when you know that you can set that alarm, they will be up and there won't be anybody standing at the door yelling, "If you don't wake up, this is the last time I'm going to call you." None of those threats. This is a way to prepare yourself with the real sleep school supplies. So join me, Nancy Nadolski. Would love to have you in Sleep School. You can find that at mysleepschool.com, because I really believe good sleep is good medicine.